All right. Well, welcome everyone. Appreciate you joining us this afternoon. With us, we have Dan Dabrowski from Aetna. So Dan will be joining us through audio today, and we hope everyone's having a great AEP. We hope just to bring you some updates and some highlights at this point of the season, knowing that your time is valuable, knowing that everyone's busy out there. We're going to keep this fairly short to 15 minutes or less, and just hope to bring you some updates on both what we see in the industry, things that may be impacting your AEP and future beyond AEP, as well as what Aetna is seeing out there as well. So Dan, I want to thank you for joining us this afternoon, and all of you who are with us as well. So to get started, we just have a few questions we're going to run through with our panelist here, which is Dan. And what are you as a rep for Aetna? You're out there, you're working with the agent community, you're working behind the scenes with your carrier. You guys are closely in touch with CMS, but what do you see going on this AEP? How is your AEP starting off, and what are you hearing from agents out there?
Well, hey, Jason, can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, great. So first of all, hey, thank you for having me today. It's great to be with you and your agents as well. So thank you so much. I know everybody's very busy. So to answer the first question, our AEP so far has got off to a very good start. We have got off to a pretty quick start out of the gate. I'm hearing pretty similar things out there from the agents, at least from our top agents, that our plans are still very, very competitive as they were last year. I don't think there were any huge splashes out there that any one particular carrier made from last year to this year. So we still have a lot of our top producers selling very strong for us. So we're off to a great start.
Excellent. No, that's good to hear. I know you guys have had obviously a strong plan for a number of years, making some adjustments. I've heard great things. What do you see going on there out in the industry, or as far as the agent community? I'm hearing from some agents it's a little slower start for them this AEP. What are you hearing out there?
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is that certainly, at least from the Aetna perspective, I'll just touch base on a couple of things that I'm hearing, especially from our top producing agents, and then also some of the things that we've done earlier on in the year in terms of surveying the clients that we have enrolled currently on the plan. So, and I'll start off with the DSNP, because we have very attractive DSNP, a lot of expansion counties. In fact, we added 33 new counties in the state of Michigan for a total of 39. So we made a huge expansion on the DSNP. A couple of the things that what I'm hearing out there is our Flex card has been well received. That's $180 every quarter, and they've expanded that. So now it's not only for healthy foods, utilities, but it also, the third category now is transportation. And the nice part about it is you can use it for gasoline if you pay at the pump. We also increased our payment for the health risk assessments to our agents. It used to be $70 on the DSNP. Now it's $110. So they certainly like that. There's no cost sharing on the DSNP. And as a reminder, we've got the national network on that plan and all plans, with 93% of doctors in network in Michigan, and no referrals required on any plan. So that's a lot what we're hearing on the DSNP. And then I'll just shift gears quickly to the Medicare Advantage side. We actually expanded our over-the-counter offering, and that went from 350 items. Next year we'll have over 800. So that was one of the things we heard in terms of client feedback. Our zero premium HMO point of service is probably our best-selling plan these last 2 to 3 years. A reminder, no referrals required, nationwide coverage. It has the $2,500 in dental. That is probably the number one thing that we hear is on the dental. Any dental service, including dentures and implants, because I know some carriers do exclude that. We have all dental services covered. The only exclusion is for cosmetic teeth whitening, and you can go to any licensed dental provider. And, the nice thing about that is if you go in network, you get a better deal. It's 100% coverage. If you go out of network, you've got 80% coverage. So we've got about 70% of the dental offices contracted in the Aetna dental PPO network. So that's the Advantage plan. Probably the best seller, as I said, the $0 HMO. And then the last thing I'll mention on the plans is the formulary. We actually down-tiered about 300 drugs on our formulary. So we heard this a lot last year. Dan, I wanted to sell more Aetna. You got a phenomenal product, but we know that the formulary is one point in which it determines which direction a client goes in terms of the carrier. So we have really improved our formulary, down tiering nearly 300 drugs, and we've added 10 drugs to the formulary that we never had. We are participating now in the insulin savings program. So that's been going very well. And I think part of the reason why we've had some success early on here, this AEP.
Awesome. No, that's great news. Happy to hear you guys are performing well, and obviously you've done a lot of great things. So I agree. I'm hearing the same things. Of course, formulary is a huge motivator when it comes to clients, agents choosing the right plan. I'm hearing the dental benefits are some of the key additions. Anything else that you would say kind of sets you guys apart, where you really shine, and why agents are choosing for Aetna for 2023?
Yeah. So the thing I would say to that would be, we've got, I would say our network, we've got a phenomenal network, not only in Michigan with 93% of docs. In fact, there's only 2 hospitals we don't have in Michigan in our service area, Bronson and Kalamazoo, and then, of course, Spectrum System in Grand Rapids. But beyond that, we've got all the hospitals, nationwide coverage, which, by the way, includes the Cleveland Clinic. I think this kind of gets missed a lot of times, but that is a world-class facility. And you'd be amazed. I've been at member meetings when they hear that. These seniors, their ears perk up big time because they like to know that they have access to a world-class facility like the Cleveland Clinic on their Advantage plan. And we've had a lot of clients actually go there for second opinions. And so that's definitely been, big advantage is on the network. So I would say, those couple of things I would just, add in there, and in addition to, of course, the formulary enhancements and the expanded, over-the-counter benefits. And then I'll just stress on the dental because that is, a great benefit that we offer with no additional cost on the plan to have that, $2,500 benefit on that zero premium HMO plan.
All right. Yeah, no, all great things. And that's tremendous. I think that's a great expansion, giving agents more access to your guys' plans and great benefits throughout this coming year. So what are you seeing out there? We talk a lot about best practices. We've talked to some agents who are seasoned veterans having a slower AEP. We talked to some who are just as busy as past years. What are you seeing out there? What are working for your agents? What are agents doing to both be prepared for AEP, maximize their prospecting, their enrollments? What are some of the best practices that you're hearing from agents out there?
Yeah, no, Jason, great question. I mean, I don't know that, when I talk to our top producers, because I like to ask them the same thing too as well, but there doesn't always seem to be, one silver bullet out there. I think the key that I've heard is having multiple irons in the fire and in terms of your lead generation, because that is really the key, right? Driving new business and new leads. So, I love one of the sayings that I always loved when I learned, years ago, he said, don't be a secret agent, right? Let everybody that let them know what you do, anybody you talk to, because you'd be surprised at how many people may not even know what it is that you do. It could be a neighbor or a friend or a relative. So, and then of course, everybody has their own strategy, but, some folks like direct mail, some folks like leads, Medicare 101 seminar trainings, and, but whatever you can do to really, whatever you feel that your niche is in the community and you feel like your strength is in terms of, getting in front of people, and whether it's, on the phone or face to face, we really see a lot of different things that work, and what might work for one person doesn't always work for someone else. So I think, as I said, having multiple irons in the fire, not just one, lead pipeline, you're having multiple, pipelines. And I know, Jason, we've done some things with you on some lead generation in the past that's worked. So excited about what we have going on with you as well, going forward as a partnership. So those are just a couple things I would add to that.
Yeah, no, those are great tips. And I would say to add to that too, what we're hearing from other carriers, what we're hearing from agents is, some of those who may be struggling, it is a year-round project. It's something you have to have kind of annual year-round strategy for. There's a lot of community opportunities, as you mentioned, being visible. Don't be, that secret agent. And so how do you be visible? Well, there's a lot of ways, think of, centers of influence, professionals in your community that you can partner with, whether it's financial planners, other agents in other industries that might be a feeder source to Medicare. Talk to professionals. We we have agents who their dentists have sent out letters, or they'll partner with a pharmacy, or they'll be in Kroger store. And, we see some of these other clinics opening up. So we ourselves and the carriers are bringing you plenty of field and, opportunities to be in the community. If you're not signed up for some of those sources and you're interested, we'd be happy to tie you in with some of those community events that we're putting on. Some of those are, co-sponsored by carriers, and some of them are just programs that we have going for independent agents. But I think the point is don't be afraid to start those conversations yourself. Some of these community events, when we talk about pharmacies or relationships with, a variety of, whether it's Walmarts or others, those have been going on for years, but many agents have actually had some of those relationships going on their own without any carrier partnership or any, scheduling on our part. It's just something they've done. They've engaged with the community and now they're visible. So don't be afraid to talk to people, as Dan brought out. So, okay, good. Any other tips or techniques that you could offer to the agents who are with us this afternoon, Dan? Anything else you would suggest to help keep them active, give them a healthy AEP and going forward?
Yeah, Jason, in addition to what you've said, and I've already mentioned earlier, I just say, keeping in touch with your clients and, making sure that they have, what they need and they're in the best plan that's right for them. Because essentially, if you're helping them and they're in the best plan, that's what's going to drive more referral business to you, because you're going to have happy clients. So, the old saying is, hey, if you don't take care of your client, somebody else will. I think that's very true, in this business as well. So I would add that to, as well. And certainly it's great to, you want to, of course, gain new clients each year and grow that residual income, but it's also important that you don't let your business go out the back door while you got to come in the front door. So I think that's very important, and from a retention perspective, and also, from a lead generation, because you've got a book of business that you can use as a farm, whether there's opportunities selling other products like hospital indemnity or cancer plans, coverage for physical therapy. Those are really the two biggest expenses a member would have, at least on our plans: inpatient hospital and physical therapy. And you've got riders you can add on for low cost, which is kind of a hybrid model that's essentially much better than even a med sup plan in many regards, because you've got that dental, vision, hearing, and all those other ancillaries. So it does add to your retention, and I know, that's no secret, but it's something that you should be having those conversations with. If you're not, Aetna has a really competitive hospital indemnity plan. We sell a lot of those, probably our number one selling ancillary plan. So if you haven't checked those out yet, please do. When you put them under Aetna, you've got one umbrella, it's one name, you have a higher likelihood that client's going to renew year over year. So yeah, Jason, I would just add that, and it's a great point.
No, those are great tips, because, and prepare your clients too. Sometimes we talk to agents who have been doing this for a little while. They don't have regular communication with their clients, and they struggle each year to get in touch. The clients kind of just blow them off. And I think a big part of that is you haven't prepared your clients that you're going to be actively involved in their insurance in this process. And it's an ongoing process. Things change, needs change, plans change. They may have additional needs, as you mentioned, Dan. Are we presenting hospital indemnity or additional coverages that make sense? Most of us do life and health products. So are we bringing other solutions? Do they really view you as their agent, as their advisor? I think what happens is most agents have positioned themselves very simply as, I do your Medicare. And then the person feels like if they don't have any questions, or there's not an immediate need or fire to put out, that they don't hear from you and you're not going to hear from them, and you just kind of let it set. Well, as Dan mentioned, those clients, when they do have a need, start looking. A good example of that, we have this close partnership in Ohio, and some of our agents down there, two things. One, they save the AEP literally just to service their clients, and then they attract new clients throughout the other parts of the season. So interesting approach, but it's what works for them. Like you said, Dan, be in touch, be saving those clients, making sure that they're taken care of. But the second thing is they've done mailers and different marketing, talking to seniors about, savings, Medicare premiums, and a host of things. Interestingly enough, they did a big lead drop, and the majority of the people that responded when they talked to them, surprisingly, it wasn't about saving money. It wasn't about some of these ancillary benefits built into these MA plans. It was about the fact that they had somebody enroll them a few years back, whether it be at a Walmart or somewhere else, and they never heard from the agent again. Agent never reached back out. They literally were returning that lead card because they needed to know who could help them with their future questions and needs. So it goes to show that doing that follow-up, keeping in touch with your clients is extremely important. And that's how you generate more business, keep your business and your client healthy, and you get referrals from that.
Yeah, great point, Jason. And then I'll just add one last thing. I know we're, up against the clock, but, we've got all these commercials on TV. You see Joe Namath and JJ Walker. These folks are watching TV a lot of times during the day and their phone's ringing off the hooks. We all know that. So, don't lose clients to Joe Namath. Be in front of them, let them know that, hey, if you have questions or problems, you call me, because you don't want them calling that number on the TV. They could be, end up with a call center somewhere across the country that may move their plan or whatever the case might be. So that's just another reminder, reason why you should be in front of them, on a continual basis.
Absolutely. Good point. Yeah. Just to wrap up, we do want to encourage everyone, if you currently do not have a full year-round marketing strategy, please reach out to us, reach out to our marketing team. We work with agents really every day working on a better marketing strategy, making you visible in your community. Every community is going to be a little bit different, whether you're more in a metropolitan area, you're in a rural area, it all matters. Let our team help you diagnose what makes the most sense. We can put together a marketing strategy. We can work with you on various branding that will help continue to make you visible in that community as a reputable Medicare source, and have a year-round strategy that's feeding each other. You can't just do direct mail these days. You can't just rely on, one particular lead source. Many of those are being affected by all the other advertising and marketing that's taking shape. So really have to have a multi-pronged strategy. So we have a team to help do that. And that's something we're going to be spending a lot of time with agents next year, because many have realized that they can't wait till September, August to start their lead generation. They really have to be preparing and filling that sales pipeline all year long to have both good off AEP as well as build a nice, healthy list of clients or prospects that they're working with through AEP. So again, that's something else that we can certainly help develop for you on an annual year-round basis. All right. Any last comments that you'd like to add, Dan, before we wrap up?
No, I think there was a very productive call. And Jason, again, I want to thank you for setting this up. I think this was a great idea and a good, little quick refresher that keeps things top of mind. So I appreciate this, and all of you, of course, that partner with Aetna. And if you don't, I would love to help you. If there's anything you need, if you ever need something escalated, you've got me, Dan Dombrowski, working for you. You're locally in Michigan. So let us know what you need and how we can help you sell. And I just wish everybody a great remainder of this AEP. So, yeah, thank you so much, Jason.
No, thank you, Dan. Thank you for all your support and everything you do for us and the agents in the community. We really do appreciate it. We thank all of you agents as our partners and willing to come out and spend a few minutes with us today. We hope some of this information has been helpful. And certainly we're here for you, our team, Dan and his team. If you need something, you have questions, you'd like to bounce some things off of us, assistance, escalate something, please let us know. That's what we're here for. And again, we wish you all the best this AEP, and we look forward to working with you. And again, anything we can do to help support your sales efforts, please let us know. Again, I want to thank everyone for coming out. It doesn't look like we have any questions, Dan. So again, we'll end it here and let everyone get back to their busy schedule.
Awesome. Hey, thanks. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
You too. Thanks a lot, everyone.